Hi there, it is Monday, August 14th, and I am about to go out into the garden and spend the next 55 minutes of my lunch break out there. Primary project for today is to trim back my pumpkin vines, in part because I think one of them is never actually set fruit and I want to make room for other things. So that's the primary project, just kind of checking in on the pumpkins, trimming them back. Also removing anything that, not anything that has powdery mildew, because that's just what happens with pumpkins. But I do have powdery mildew. I also have powdery mildew on parts of the plant that, again, didn't set any fruit. So I'm going to trim those back, get rid of the vines and the leaves that are impacted. Potentially look at my winter squash, which I do see powdery mildew on as well there. And then lastly, if I can, if there's time, actually I should just prioritize this because it's not going to take that long, covering up my potatoes, and I will show you what I mean in a minute when I get out there. Okay, so when I talk about the potatoes needing to be covered up, as you can see, we've had good growth, but they are kind of exposed to the sun. You can see here too, this guy, he's green, and this one's also getting green, which is they start to produce arsenic when exposed to the sun. So I just want to cover that up and keep them from getting too exposed. So I have some dirt in the garage that I'm gonna just dump on top of this very, very ceremoniously. For my super high-tech setup, I am going to take this empty bucket that my grandma gave me that had cat litter in it at one point, and I'm gonna just put some of this topsoil right here into the bucket, and then we're just gonna dump it. We're gonna dump it on top of the potatoes. I'll sweep that up, but it's okay. Actually, I'll just sweep it up now. Why not? Okay. Say it with me. Good enough. As easy as that, I guess. Oh Lord. So just to show, now there's more dirt. You don't see any tubers. No tubers here, just vines. In the scheme of things, I'll probably be those vines are dying already, which means the tubers in the scheme of things are probably about ready to go. So in the next few weeks, as they die off more, I'll be cutting those back and letting the potatoes cure a little longer in the ground before I go ahead and start digging them up. But it's nice to know I mean, this is pretty early. I think I've never had potatoes ready this early, and I threw them in end of May, so that one is lucky, I guess. And then since I'm out here, I might as well see. Here's another potato, which nothing going on, but if we look in here, I'm not seeing anything exposed, so I'll take it. Don't need to dump dirt on that one. And then this one's got pumpkins growing almost integrated with, but nothing in there either. No exposed tubers. And then this poor guy, the birds have been dusting themselves right by this one, so it never really did the things that the other ones were doing. But in the meantime, here's also here's my pretty snapdragons, my pretty purple ones. All right, now the main reason I'm out here again, the pumpkins. So I'll show you the leaves here in a second, and then I'll set up the tripod, and we can go ahead and get started with trimming these things back. So just a brief overview. So this is the point of origin where I sowed my seeds. I did, when I threw down the seeds, I put down 4 over Memorial Weekend, which is the last weekend in May. I put down 4 seeds, 3 germinated, and then I picked out one of them. Once they started kind of showing me that they were established, I picked out the one that was kind of the smallest. So these are the 2 that I have left, the 2 vines. We got one here. Well, oh gosh, I can't see a darn thing with my shadow being here, but oh well, that's how light works. So there's the first, and then here's the second. So as you can see as well, though, we have, this is powdery mildew on them, and this just happens when they grow so close to the ground, they grow so close together and so densely, they don't get a lot of good airflow, so they just have this powdery mildew forming on them. I'm trying to cut the leaves off and properly dispose of them. You can't compost them, or else it just spreads. It just spreads from leaf to leaf. So that's why I'm gonna be cutting things back. I'm gonna use, so here's an example. This one over here, this vine has nothing fruiting on it, so I can just go ahead and cut it. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it off as it is and not worry too much about it. And again, my shadow is in the way. Damn sun. Can't you behave in a way that works for me and my camera? Okay, so I'm trying to, as I'm going, check the vines to make sure there's nothing fruiting on it. So I'm gonna kind of show you what I mean here just now. So, one moment please. Okay, so kind of what I'm talking about here is I've cleared this of the vines up to this point, but as you can see where I've cut it here, this sucker off to the side actually has fruit on it, so I'm not going to cut beyond this point. But following this vine, which is over here by my snapdragons and the potato plant that tried, so following this guy, he doesn't actually have anything fruiting on him, so I'm going to keep following him back to cut. And that's actually going to clear quite a lot of real estate over here, not going to lie. Okay, so as far as trimming vines back, I think that's really about as good as it's going to get. But while I'm out here and while I'm still seeing powdery mildew on the one vine that I know has like a couple of pumpkins on it, I'm going to double check I'm going to just go ahead and snip off leaves on my pumpkins and my winter squash that have powdery mildew on them, just to kind of get them away from everything else. That's a good starting point, you know. I think we've got some good contenders for cutting. Okay, let's not step on too many things though. Woof. And I'm just gonna see if I can just cut him off real quick. So, powdery mildew, you can see it here, but it's, you know, if you rub your finger on it, it kind of like rubs off like that. That's how you know it's powdery mildew. Okay, as you can see, I was a bit ruthless in my cutting, but hopefully I feel bad almost for cutting that much off. I think I'm gonna still cut this big one off because, you know, they need their leaves to photosynthesize. But the good news is my zinnias should hopefully get some more sun. I have some beans over here that weren't getting a lot of sun, so we'll see what happens. I'll probably be cutting more in the next few days. I'm always out here cutting things off, but I'm gonna call this good enough because God knows my lunch break's probably almost over. Okay, so here's the carnage, I guess. I gotta put that in a lawn and leaf bag. This lawn and leaf bag is full already. It's got weeds from yesterday in there too. And then here's another pile. I kind of wanted to show as well, but like this powdery mildew, it spread to one of my zinnias. So I cut this one off. Okay, last job for lunch break. It's gonna rain later today, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put down some compost on my plants, my squash and my pumpkins, because they're heavy feeders, and then I'll just kind of leave it and let the rain do what it's supposed to. So yes. Compost. Alright. I got the leaves and stuff that I cut off into yard waste bags. I'm just gonna pick up my pruners and my bucket, and I'm gonna just go back inside, and obviously I have to get back to work. It's the end of lunch, so hopefully in the future I will come out here and provide like a late summer. We're about to get into late summer, so soon enough I'll get out here and do like a late summer garden tour. I do feel kind of weird just coming out here and getting straight into the work without showing you what I have been growing this whole time, but that'll be a next time project. So thank you for taking the time to watch. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. And then hopefully I'll see you again soon. Have a nice day. Bye.